Hey man, congratulations on the win and a great performance to go with it as well. Everyone always says with Cerrone, it's just come at him hard and see if you can get him to break. Was that your game plan tonight?
Yeah, in a sense, he's got some of the best Muay Thai in MMA, and I did a lot of Muay Thai coming up. I fancy myself a kickboxer. We went from like Muay Thai to like Dutch style kickboxing now to like MMA style striking, which is pretty heavy with the hands. But if you allow those Muay Thai guys, kind of taller guys, to catch a rhythm, then you're in some trouble. So more than like swarming him early, I did throw a monster right hand to start, but man, he did a good job slipping in, insta clinching up. But I just wanted to like try to kill a rhythm, kill a beat. So when he'd step in, I made sure to step in with some tight jabs, and I feel that was good. He hit me with one really good body kick, and he stuck me with a jab or two. But I just made sure every time I got hit, I tried to return. And it's just you can't let someone as experienced and dangerous as Cowboy get started. So that worked out.
Yeah, and then when you had him hurt as well, Cowboys sometimes get criticized for like going down at it. He stayed in there. You really had to work for the finish tonight. When you look at this fight, how far do you think this propels you in your career?
Man, it's been so awesome being in the UFC for so long. I got to say, the UFC has given me every opportunity. Now, granted, I know I offered to kind of step in short notice. I knew the risks that come with that. But every fight I've had with them, even if it was like the featured Fight Pass stuff or featured prelims, they've always given me every opportunity. And I'm just so happy to give back and catch a finish. And this definitely propels me further than any other fight. I've been saying it all week. Other than Conor, Cowboy's the most iconic and recognizable MMA fighter, I think, on planet Earth. My favorite show in the world is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was on that show. Made me like him even more. And, I'm sure they were watching it, rooting for him. I'm sorry. But, hopefully, they became a fan. And it's just so cool. And then just for myself as a fighter, so, I was actually going up to Fortis before, and all my people, because I got to leave Houston, I got to leave my gym to go train at Fortis, and everyone's like, "You got a fight coming up?" I'm like, "No, I'm just going for the martial arts experience. Giving my teammates some work, and really just going for the martial arts experience." And it's such a healthy, productive lifestyle. Everyone at my gym who trains, everyone at Fortis, we're just working so hard to become better people, better martial artists. And there's such a community behind that way of healthy living, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's awesome.
Having said all that and having said how much it does for you, is there a moment where you're looking at Cowboy beaten up that you sort of think, oh man, like there's a legend right there on his way out almost?
Yeah, I'll tell you, hearing Kid Rock's Cowboy song coming in was cool. I mean, I was looking forward to that all week, I'll be honest. I wouldn't have said anything until after the fight, and if I had lost, I would not have mentioned it. But it was cool, man. I was saying this all week too. When he and Diego were matched, I saw the match, and I always text my kickboxing coach Matt. He and I've been working together forever. And I was like, "Coach, what a beautiful fight! Like, what a perfect matchup." And I had actually called Coach Safe, and I told him there was a few welterweight matchups. That one being one of them. I said, "Coach, if any one of these guys on this fight, or the Cowboy Sanchez fight drops off, I'd be willing to take him in good shape." And that was 2.5, 3 months ago. And I just didn't expect it to go down. It was crazy. But yeah, after the fight, after I got the finish, after kind of kill mode was turned off, seeing Cowboy there was cool. And sad's not the right word. It's not. There's a lot of respect that goes into it. And man, I do hope he goes to 55 like he wanted to, and they give him a good fight. Like, give him Lozon or Miller, like still game dudes, but like a fun veteran fight. That's, if there's anything, if anyone's deserved any shots to be called in the UFC, it's Cowboy. He made me such a fan forever. I mean, like, one of my favorite UFC moments was when he fought Alexander Hernandez. And Hernandez was just talking trash and getting in his face, and I was like, why against Cowboy? Cowboy didn't say anything bad. And then sure enough, man, Cowboy, he did what Cowboys do and just showed him the way. And when he fought Matt Brown, that was a great fight, and he hit that switch kick. And even when he fought Cote, I mean, it's just cool. It's cool sharing the octagon with these guys. And there's those iconic moments. It's like when Wonderboy walks out to Wonderboy by Tenacious D was fun to hear live. When fighting Cowboy was cool. Even fighting Pettis, when they announced him, he turned his back and showed his back, saying Showtime. I was like, oh, cool. Kind of F that one up, but I learned a good lesson in that fight. Not that I put these veterans on the pedestal, but I was like, are they that good compared to, everyone else? And the answer is not no. It's that I'm there as well. And it's not that I didn't have any confidence or didn't believe it, but I was always just like a fight fan who trained a bunch knows the fight game well, and I just going into this fight, like after watching the couple fights before, there weren't a lot of finishes. I was like, I'm gonna stand and trade until someone goes down. I'm gonna get into a gunfight, and not for anyone else other than myself. In terms of like just like knowing I'm down to firefight, safely and defensively, but I wasn't afraid of getting clipped. To achieve my goal of landing these big punches, I was willing to, get punches thrown back at me. Whether they land or not is really up to me, in terms of defensive, technical awareness. But that was cool. This is the sport for me for sure.
What's your favorite Always Sunny moment?
It's not a great post-fight presser, but there's an episode when Rickety Cricket is talking to Mac, and Mac comes out as being gay, and he's like, for pay or for free? And he says for free, and he's like, sucker. I don't know why. I always thought that moment was great. But the gang desperately tries to win an award. Yeah. I've actually clipped a few of those episodes and quotes and posted them on Reddit, and one of them got uploaded to the front page, But no, I'm a big Sonny fan. Like, I watch it pretty much every night before I go to sleep. I was watching it in the hotel room before I came up here while I was like taking a nap, kind of going in and out. And Cowboy was on an episode there. So was Paul Felder. It was cool. It's cool to kind of be in a similar realm. Rob, if you hear this, just know I'm a huge fan, and I've watched more Sonny than pretty much anyone else.
Cool. Well, I won't ask you any more questions to hold you there in place because of the implication.
Yeah. I do want to ask, and I think I kind of know what your answer would be because I know how respectful you are of Cowboy. Cowboy, I know in the pre-fight presser was talking about how he was coming in the best shape that he felt he had been in quite some time, feeling like he was coming in at an ultimate high. And this is a guy that's been fighting for so long. Does Cowboy, I mean, I know you talked about him going to a lighter weight class. I know some people might wonder, is Cowboy still the Cowboy? Is his best still good enough to be at this? You were in there. Did you just look that good to make it look like that? And is Cowboy still that good that he should stick around? Because I could see where some might be like, because it hurts. It sucks to see Cowboy lose like that. But what do you think about that? I mean, is this still the place for him?
Man, I hope I looked good. No, I'm just kidding, man. He's not a small welterweight. I fought big welterweights. I fought small welterweights. He is not a small welterweight. He felt good. Just stylistically, I don't have as big a name. I fight wild, and I'm not afraid to go sit down and throw punches until someone dies. I just don't think this was an ideal matchup for his style and for where he's at in his career. So effectively, the question reworded is, do I think Cowboy could still have success in the UFC? And I do. At least one more. I hope he is given the opportunity to kind of call his final shots. And then as for all the fans at home, one, I want to say thank you. I thought I was going to get crushed on social media. I did not. It blew my mind. And I'm a positive person, and people were cool. And I just, anyone who mentions Cowboy, just like, if anything, share a cool memory of what he's done in his career. And let's think of some ideas to kind of send him off in a better direction. He just did a grappling match against RDA, against Rafael Dos Anjos, and he armbarred, if I'm not mistaken. Like, those grappling matches, look at your conditioning up. His fight against Nico was not a bad fight. It was competitive, and Nico is a bit of a madman himself. Wild like me. The fight against Pettis, I thought he won. I watched that fight with very clear intentions a lot recently in prepping for not only this Cowboy fight, but for the Pettis fight. And then you look at his loss before that. T-Ferg, the boogeyman, he's one of the scariest dudes to fight on planet Earth. Conor McGregor, say what you want, he's one of the best strikers on planet Earth, very strong. And then before that was Gaethje. Who wants to fight Gaethje? Like, he's not losing to guys who are if anything, I'm like of that tier on the bottom of that list. And but no, I think he could have a fight if he wanted to and still succeed. He's a big dude. I'm sure he's a big 55er. It's just different too. It's just the weight behind it. I've trained with 85ers and I've trained with lightweights and welterweights, and there's like mass differences behind the punches. And I think that plays a factor. And like when I throw, especially that right hook, I throw every bit of power I can, so long as I'm not overthrowing it if I miss. And like, I think I landed like 2 or 3 of them, and I put guys down with 1, and he ate 3 of them pretty handily and stayed on his feet. So I mean, if he's still got a chin, he's still game, and just he had it in his eyes. You can see when guys don't have it anymore. And looking at him pre-fight, in the fight, he was down.
And I love the mentality, and I love the performance. Just looking, I know records don't really show the truth of really what's going on. coming in here, win loss the last couple ones, or loss win. Do you feel like you've turned the corner? Are we ready to see a nice streak get built at this point? Do you feel that you're firing at all at a whole nother level right now than what you have recently?
Absolutely. I found Fortis 4 or 5 fights ago, and just having direction is cool. So like my team at home is like my family in a sense that I can make mistakes. I can deliberately make bad decisions in a fight, which is no excuse, but they'll still love me. They'll still like accept me. Like, all right, let's move on. And it's hard to break that barrier. What I found at Fortis was accountability with Coach Safe. If I make a bad decision on purpose, I don't know how it's going to fly, and I won't find out. Like, I'm not going to find that out the hard way. And there's just there's an accountability factor to it. And I'll tell you guys, I don't know if it's like this with every fighter, but I would bet my life that I would win every fight. Any fight I ever take, as soon as I stepped in the octagon, I would like bet my life that I would win it. And when you don't win, it's as if your reality is stripped from your soul. It's a weird feeling, because I would like do anything to win. And so, if you ever ask me, I plan on going on a 100-fight win streak every point in my career at all times. There's some weird hiccups, but absolutely, I can't wait to fight again. I'm gonna take some time. I'm not banged up at all, and I'm just waiting for the next opponent.
And last thing for me, and it kind of touches on what you've been bringing up, Fortis. Tonight was a bit of a rough night for Fortis coming into your fight. Was that the toughest thing for you to go into a fight, seeing that happen, and did that put any extra sort of, not pressure to get the win, but did it affect you in any way? And in turn, do you feel that you gained some strength knowing that you can maybe feel that for your teammates and still go out there and perform at a super high level?
Yeah, I've been doing this a long time. I've fought alongside a lot of teammates in my day, and no, I know they can handle their stuff. They know I can handle my stuff. For the record, I don't know how Jeff Neal lost that decision. Am I crazy? How did you guys score it?
It was close. It was real close.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I thought he had the first 2 locked. He did the damage. He was pressing the action. That sucks, man. Jeff's a beast. Jeff's a beast. I'll tell you, man. I get hit by him in training. I know he's a beast. He'll bounce back, man. He's the man. Carlos Diego Ferreira, he had a tough fight in Gillespie. Man, that guy can scramble. CDF's fun to watch, no matter what. I love my teammates dearly. I'd do anything for them. And I know, we didn't win all the fights today, but we'll make improvements and come back. And I'm happy to rep the flag and carry it into battle. And I'm just happy to come out on the other side alive and still swinging. So I'm happy to represent this time.
Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
Alex, not only did you take out a legend in Donald Cerrone, but you replaced a legend in Diego Sanchez. What was that like, replacing him under the kind of bizarre way it unraveled?
Yeah, I can speak pretty freely, yeah. Okay, fair enough. So I asked for the Diego fight for a while, but I'm not like trying to fight these old vets. I like that Diego would run to the front and throw down. I just thought that'd be cool. I've built such a resume as a martial artist for myself for 2 reasons. 1, for my own personal goal accomplishing reasons, and 2, so my students know that their coach has gone through the fire. For as long as there have been society, people have been fighting. Look at the old feudal samurais. They didn't learn how to fight with swords because they wanted to. They did it so they could protect their families and their way of life. Martial arts has been around forever. For as long as martial arts has been around, there have been these fake coaches who they believe their stuff is real, and man, I just can't believe how embedded this one is in Diego. Like, I'm sure you guys saw the video, Diego hanging upside down, getting punched and kicked in the head. Like, that is insane. It's crazy to see. Again, I really wanted to see Diego and Sanchez fight. Like, if someone had given me the option to, like, if you can go back in time and force the action, could you allow that Diego and Cowboy fight to happen? I'd say yes, and not step in like knowing this outcome. That's how much I think Cowboy especially has earned it. Diego too. Talk about putting some groundwork in for a company, man. He's been fighting. I was a big Diego fan for a while. Like when he fought Clay Guida, I was real big on Diego when he fought BJ Penn. And that fight didn't go so smooth for him. But no, it was cool. It was cool to replace. I was happy to get this fight. But it just sucks, man. It makes me really feel for Diego. It really does, like, in my heart. And if anything, parents or kids, whoever wants to go do martial arts, do some research on the coaches. And if you don't know, message me, Alex Morono MMA. I'll do the research and let you guys know. It's weird. It makes me so mad when creepy adults lead their students astray. I've seen great coaching, I've seen good coaching, and I've seen bad coaching in my career. And that's one thing. Yeah, I'll go into gyms like that or in the area, and I'll like ask about the coach and like read the literature, and like they see my ears, and a lot of guys know that I fight around town. And a lot of people don't like that I do that, but man, you gotta keep the quality good. And you can't show, especially a kid getting bullied, some bullshit. If they go there and they try to fight with it and get beat up, I mean, that's just bad news all around. And legitimacy in coaching and in martial arts is very much so attainable today. It's important that people are finding the right coaches.
So you've never hung upside down, had somebody kick you in the head for training?
No, I have one primary goal when I train and when I fight, and it's to not get punched and kicked in the face. Once I figure out how to do that, then I try to land the punches and kicks to the face. But mitigating damage, it has to be a priority. I mean, it has to be. The longevity of the sport wouldn't last. And I was telling my coach, people talk about retirement all the time. There are 2 factors that will lead me to retire. One is if I start taking too much damage to my head in training or in fights, which is not the case, not even close to that. And then 2 is if I'm not enjoying the fight camps. Every fight camp I've had, and I'm coming up on 40 now, I've enjoyed more than the last. The reason I was in such good shape for this fight is my boy Cameron Graves. He's fighting on, Dana White's looking for a fight the Sunday after the UFC Houston pay-per-view. And I'm getting hit, Coach Matt Safe, myself, Coach Safe are getting him ready for a fight. And I was having fun in his fight camp. My other corner, Jake Heffernan, he'll be in the UFC soon. He'll be fighting. We're going to be getting him prepped soon. My boy Ricky Tercios, he's in the Ultimate Fighter house right now. He did 2-month fight camp to prep for the house, and I was there with him. These fight camps are the most fun thing in the world. I mean, I own and run a gym. I'm there every single day, training all day. So, I mean, yeah, it's awesome.
And when you say that you wish, that Diego had earned the chance to fight Donald, but some people would say, well, maybe the UFC's protecting Diego from himself with possible CTE. Do you see sometimes in fighters that are still fighting and effects of that? You know
what? To answer your question, no. The sport is still so young. I mean, like we'll see as some of like the Hall of Famers who are out of the mix, like been out of the mix for a while, like Chuck, Tito, and Randy. Except Randy didn't take too much damage to the head. When those guys are like 60 and up, then I think we'll have some real ideas to go off of. But not really. I've met a few boxers in my day who are a little punch drunk, but that's different. Boxing training and boxing fighting, that's different. I don't enjoy it. I've done it before. Don't enjoy it. It's too much head trauma. I don't know. That's hard to speak on. I would, if I was in that position and people were like CT, it would make me so mad and defensive. So I've never met the guy. I can't speak for the guy. But however, if there are very clear symptoms in terms of like mood swings and depression and like weird violent outbursts, then that needs to be looked into. But honestly, Diego looked fine. He beat Mickey Gall. That was awesome. That would have been a good fight to go out on, by the way. That was a good one. He even fought that Michel Pierre, and that dude's an explosive beast, and he did all right. And even Jake Matthews, a young, hungry dude. I mean, granted, he lost the fight, but he didn't, get crushed. I think Diego, if anything, I don't know about that. Well, I was going to say we have more fights than Cowboy in his tank, but I think those guys could have fought and had a safe, fun fight, and it would have been cool.
Vegas is opening up a lot more and more. Are you going to celebrate on the Strip tonight?
No. I'm gonna go back to my room with my coaches and probably eat some Thai food and watch the fight back and I don't know. I can't wait to talk to my wife too. She's awesome, man. She runs the ship back home when I'm gone. She handles all the business side of the gym while I teach, train, and fight. Which gets such a good thing going back home. I love going up to Fortis and training. It's cool to travel and train. It's a very martial arts style, like a way of life, and I get to do both. The business side, the teaching side, the coaching side, and the training side is so much fun. Before I had Fortis, I would do everything at my home gym, which I loved, and it was great. But when I go to Fortis, I'm a student. I get to take orders and not give orders, and I like that. Like there's the soldier in me that likes that, and I'm just so happy to have such a great symbiotic relationship between the two.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats on the big win, Alex. I'm sure this is the biggest win of your career, co-main event on the big ESPN card. But it's great that you touched on being so passionate about the sport. you almost are pulling people's cards, checking the integrity of these gyms. Recently, George St. Pierre mentioned that a lot of guys lose their career in the gym. Can you attribute that to these coaches that might not necessarily know what they're doing and hurting people's careers because they're leading them incorrectly?
Yeah, it's a little more rare to see in the UFC. And to be fair, a lot of these guys are doing the best they can. I don't know how many fights before I got hooked up with Coach Safe at Fortis. Maybe 4 or 5, and I had decent success. I say decent, I had like a 50-50 split on wins and losses. But some of the losses were preventable, were very avoidable, like a split decision loss, whatever, this and that. And I needed just a little more accountability. And you can tell, at least I could tell. I could always tell, high-level coaches for not even going to local fights. One of my cornermen here, his first amateur fight ever, I was like, Jake, I want you to look around. I want you to watch how other people are wrapping hands and hitting pads and coaching. And I said, say nothing. I just want you to watch. And he would watch some, and he saw some guys doing things well, but he saw some guys doing things wrong. And I'm not sitting there ragging on him. I'm not on a high horse. I'm like, Jake, you be thankful, like I'm thankful that we were shown the correct way. My early coaches on, Daniel Kim, Chad Robo, back when I first started training, this is 14, 15 years ago. Thankfully, they showed us the proper way of doing things. Ricky Tercios is in the Ultimate Fighter House now. He was a 15-year-old when I was 18, learning kind of like the early way. And then when I took over the gym back in 2012, I realized that my coaches too were kind of like exploring the great unknown. So I ended up like taking the reins with Coach Matt. We've been running this for a long time. Matt Wall, man, the wizard pad holder, best pad holder you'll ever meet in your life. But we've gone through not even the ups and downs, but the trials and the errors, and we've learned the right way. And every once in a while, you'll see shoddy coaching, weird stuff that really has no place in the UFC. But it's rare. It's rare. And again, like there's some like small towns who have small town martial arts gyms, and those guys are doing the best they can, and that's fine. But it's when people think they know things that they don't, like that Fabia guy with the weirdo methods and the death punch. That's all just, to me, so transparent. You can just see through that, and it makes me mad because it can get people hurt, So nothing too crazy. For every one crap coach out there, you got 5 really good ones, especially in Dallas. I know there's a really good scene. Ford is crushing it. I know they're the best gym down there by far. And then in Houston, there's a lot of really, really good gyms. There's like Gracie Baja headquarters, at least Gracie Baja, Texas. Draculino, he's the guy who promotes me to on my degrees and my black belt. He's awesome. Guy named Opiano runs GB West Chase. Super high level grappling. And there's a couple really good MMA gyms. My gym, Gracie Baja, the Woodlands, the Bomb, the Woodlands MMA. And then I've been training a lot with Trevin Giles over at War when I am home, when I'm not going to Fortis. And there's a lot of really good places to train. But again, just having Fortis to kind of like spearhead everything and give me the direction is awesome. It's super necessary at this level.
Excellent. Thank you for the insight. And maybe one day you'll be on It's Always Sunny in Philly, being sponsored by Fight Milk.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, I drink some Fight Milk.
Thank you, sir. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Good to go. Cool. Thank you guys so much. Getting on a poster was a goal, and doing a post-fight presser was a goal. Thank you.